So welcome. Here is our topic for statistics and probability, which is the interval estimate with unknown variance. Okay po. So, what is the meaning of interval estimate? Interval estimate is the evaluation of parameter, computing an interval, a range of values within which the parameter is most likely located. So, ano nga po ba yung parameter? So, kung titignan po natin yung scale, ito po siya. Ito po yung parameter. So, inaalam po natin sa interval estimate kung saan po natin ilalagay kung saan po tayo maglalagay ng ganito para alam po natin kung saan yung ating isi-shade and para malaman po natin kung ano po yung scale. Yun po. So, most likely, kapag kompleto po yung given, which is determining the interval estimate or yung confidence interval, ginagamit po natin ang formula na T is equals to sample mean minus population mean over standard deviation, or T is equals to sample standard deviation over N over square root of sample size. So, if not, or hindi po given yung ating variance, which is yung nasa topic namin po ngayon, sabi po dito, if N is less than 30 and the variance is unknown, which is gagamitin po natin tong formula na ito, which is sample mean plus minus critical value sample standard deviation over square root of sample size. Or most likely, kung gusto po natin siyang paikliin, pwede po natin gawin ganito. Since ang formula na ito ay formula rin po ng margin of error. So, pinakita lang po natin para paano po natin masasabing margin of error yan. Yung pwede natin ipalit. So, here is the terms. Ito po yung mga terms na dapat nating alamin. So, the X, this one, or this one. This one is what we call the sample mean. And the small letter n po is the sample size. So, our S, small s is that meaning, the meaning of that is sample standard deviation. And the T, A over 2 is what it means is T critical value at 1 minus A over 2 100%. And the term another is the DF, which is the degree of freedom. X minus E is lower confidence limit. So, ano po, and our sample mean plus margin of error, ang ibig sabihin po nun is upper confidence limit. And the sign of mean is population mean naman po ang kahulugan niya. And lastly, the letter E is the margin of error. So, paano nga po ba natin nakukuha yung margin of error? Kagaya nga po nung kanina na sinabi ko, kaya pwede po natin gawing letter ito kasi parehong-pareho lang po sila ng formula. Kaya pwede na po nating paikliin ng ganito para po hindi na po tayo mahirapan magsulat. Kagaya sa akin na tamad ako magsulat. And this is the formula of DF, which is the degree of freedom. We can use the n-1 if the given has only given one group. And we can use the n1 plus n2 to find the degree of freedom if the problem is give the two different groups to know the interval estimate. So that's the terms that we need. That's the meaning, that's the introduction, and the terms and the formula that we need to know in the end of the lesson. At aalamin po natin kung paano siya gagamitin hanggang sa last ng ating lesson. Yun lang po.
Let's have now our examples. Number 1. The mean and standard deviation of the content of a sample of 11 containers are 11.5 containers and 0.635 respectively. Letter A. Find a 99% confidence interval for the mean score of all grade 8 students, assuming that the approximately normally distributed. Letter B. Find the lower and the upper confidence limit. In this example, we will use the second method of solving.
So, good afternoon guys. So, this example 1, so this is the another method for computing the confidence interval. So this stats, so the given is mean is equals to 11.5 and S is equals to 0.635 and N is equals to 11. So the formula on this problem is sample mean minus critical value times sample standard deviation all over the square root of n. Then sample mean margin of error. So we're gonna look for the value of the critical value and then the DF. So para makuha natin yung DF guys, so bandali lang na ito. So yung N natin which is 11, minus 1 lang. So 10, this is our DF na. This is our DF, and for the critical value guys, kunin muna natin yung CI for the confidence level. So the CI is 90%, 90 yan guys, 95 yan, 90%. So 100 minus 90% is 10. Then make it decimal points, so it's gonna be 0.10. Then divided by 2. So 0.10 divided by 2 is 0.05. Ayan lang guys. So this is 0.05. So pag tinignan nyo siya sa t-value guys, yung lalabas na value, ano ba yun? Lista ko yun eh. Wala. So cut muna. So dyan ko siya sa t-value guys. So ang lumabas is, so copy muna natin to guys. Contribute natin yung kailangan ng formula 11.5. So ang lumabas sa t-value natin guys nung pinag-connect natin tong DF and critical value is ko na lang guys, 1.8124. So hanggang 4 decimal point lang tayo, pero ang value sa t-value nito is 1.812461. So ito lang yung kukunin natin guys. So times to the S, ano bang S natin? Sample standard deviation natin is 0.635 all over the square root of n, which is 11. So mean, then mean 11.5 plus 1.8124, and then times natin ulit formula. Sundan lang natin yan, 0.635 over the square root of n. Yan. So solve na natin to sa calculator guys. Ipag times natin to. Oops, pinaka-focus. Ipagka times natin tong dalawa na yan. So kakalabasan yan is pinutin itong fraction guys, parenthesis fraction, then type nyo 0.635 0.635, then square root of 11 guys. So yung sagot nyan guys, ito times natin sa critical value, which is 1.8124. So ang lalabas sa sagot nyan ay 0.34700. So list muna natin yan guys bago tayo mag-proceed. 11.5 minus 0.3470. So hanggang 4th decimal place lang tayo guys, gaya ng sa book. And then 11.5, list nyo lang yan, pares lang naman kasi sila guys, so hindi na kailangan compute ito, copy nyo na lang. So 0.3470. So the next step guys is itong critical value natin is gagawin natin 2 decimal point lang. So 11.5, then minus 0.34. So ganyan lang uli guys. Then dito sa kabila 11.5 plus 0.34. Dadalawan nyo lang itong decimal point guys. So tsaka nyo siya solve natin guys. 11.5 minus 0.34. So nalabas yun guys is 11.16. This is 11.16, and then $11.5 plus 0.34. Lalabas naman guys is 11.84. So this is our final answer. This is the confidence interval. Pero kung pinapaharap sa inyo yung high and lows, dali lang. So this is the low, this is the high interval. So high interval is equals to 11.16. Yun lang siya guys. And the low interval is equals to 11. Ay, baliktad. This is the low. Sorry. It's the high. So, guys, it is the low interval because kita nyo naman, mas maliit to kaysa dito. Mas mataas ang value. So that's the final answer. So this is the another method for computing the confidence interval. Meron pa kasing method guys which is yung iniisa-isa lang, but this is the another method. Thank you.
The following are randomly selected score and mathematics tests of 12 grade 8 students. First step is make a table. How many students? 12. Then make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. First student get a 76, second 64, third 84, fourth 77, fifth 92, sixth 84. First 7, 79, 8, 87, 89, and 84, 77, 89. First is get how to get an standard deviation. Standard deviation is equal to mean and x divided by the n. First is plus all the x all the x is equal to 960, and 960 divided by 12 is unequal to 80. The third column is x minus standard deviation. This is the standard deviation and is the x. 76 minus 80 equals to negative 4, and 64 minus 80 equal to negative 16. 82 minus 80 equals 2. 77 minus 80 equals negative 3. 92 minus 80 equals 12. 84 minus 80 equals to 4. 79 minus 80, negative 1. 87 minus 80 equals 7. 89 minus 80 equals 9. 84 minus 80 equals 4. And then 77 minus 80 equals negative 3. 69 minus 80 equals negative 11. For the fourth column is get a square root of the standard mean minus standard deviation. First is square root of negative 4 equals 16. Square root of negative 16 equals 256. Square root of 2 is 4. Square root of negative 3 is 9. Square root of 12 is 144. Square root of 4 is equal to 16. Square root of negative 1 is 1. Square root of 7 is equal 49. Square root of 9 is 81. Square root of 4 is 16. Square root of negative 3 is 9. Square root of negative 11 is 121. And add all that is equals to 722.
Hi, I'm Lady Lynn Verstiga, and today I will present to you our example number 3 of getting the interval estimate of population mean with unknown variance. So this is our situation. Suppose the following data are selected randomly from a population at normally distributed values, and this is our given for this topic. First, 61, 49, 53, 81, 64, 72, 98, 78, 68, 60, 75, and 54. And this is our objective on getting the interval estimate of population mean with unknown variance. For this example number 3, first, construct a 95% confidence interval to estimate the population mean, and second, find the lower and upper confidence limit. So, for this example, we are using the second method of getting the interval estimate of population mean with unknown variance. So, before that, this is our step 1 of getting the sample mean and standard deviation for this given. But first, let me just erase this for us to have a space to do our table. So now, let's proceed for our step 1, which is to find the sample mean and the standard deviation. The first thing that we should do is to get our table. And to get our table, we needed to get is first our observation, the x value minus sample mean, and x value minus sample mean squared. So for our observation, kailangan na lang natin kunin yung 1 to 12 number because dahil sa number nung ating given. So, una, sulat lang natin yung 1 hanggang 12 kasi naka-base siya sa kung ilan yung ating given. So, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And for our x values, kailangan lang din natin kunin yung given ng ating example number 3 and ilagay natin siya dito sa line ng x value. So, ang pagbilang natin is 61 hanggang 81 pababa. So, first, for our given 1, 61 for our x value, 49 for our second value, and 49. And that's, ganun lang yung pagsulat natin. Pagsunod-sunurin na natin yung nasa table. Based sa number ng ating observation. So, 49, 53, 81, 64, 72, 98 for our 7 value, 78 for our 8 value, 68 for our 9 value, 60 for our 10 value, 75 for our 11, and 54 for our last value. So, for us to get our summation or our sample mean, we just need to get the the formula on getting the sample mean. So the formula of getting the sample mean is equals to summation of x over n of small n. So for us to get our sample mean, we need to add all of these x value to get our summation of x. So, our summation of x is, let's use a calculator para mas mabilis yung ating pag-compute. So, 61 plus 49 plus 53, 81, 64, 72, 98, 78, 68, 60, 75, and plus 54. So, our total of our x value is 813. So, susulat lang natin yung 813 dito. After that, let's proceed on getting our sample mean. So, based sa nakuha natin, yung summation ng x natin is 813. So, sulat natin over n. And ang n natin is, nagbe-base siya kung ilan yung given. So, based sa given natin, meron tayong 12 given. So, ilalight lang natin yung 12 dito. And divide. So, our sample mean, the value of our sample mean is 813 divide 12 is 67.75. So, this is how you get our sample mean. So, now, let's proceed on getting our third column for our table. So, based on our table, we just need to minus our x value to the sample mean that we get earlier. So, for that, we just need to I will just direct it so mabilis yung ating pag-answer. So, our x value is our given again for mas maunawaan ninyo yung x value natin is given. So, yung sample mean is yung nakuha natin kaninang 67.75. Para mabilis, ma-minus ko na siya directly. So, ang ating sample mean is 61 minus 67.75. So, based on our cycle, 61 minus 67.5 is minus 61 minus 67.75 is negative 6.75. So, lalagay lang natin dito is negative 6.75. So, yun yung paraan kung paano natin kunin yung ating third column. Gaya lang din ng mga susunod, ima-minus lang natin itong x value sa ating sample mean. Like 49 minus 67.75 is negative 18.75. Ganun lang kadali yung pagkuha ng ating third column based sa ating nahanap. Again, para makuha, ang gagawin lang natin yung x value, ima-minus natin sa sample mean na nakuha natin kanina. So, para mas mabilis, lalagay ko na lahat yung given and pwede nyo siyang i-check sa cycle nyo. So, 53 is 14, negative 14.75. 81 minus 67.75 is negative 13.25. For our 64 minus 67.75, it is negative 3.75. For 72, it is not aligned na, pero babanggitin ko na lang. 72 minus 67.75 is 4.25. For 98 minus 67.75 is 30.25. For 78 minus 67.75 is 10.25. For 60 minus 67.75, it is 0.25. And 75 minus 67.75, it is negative 75 minus 67.5 is 7.25. Negative 7.25 for our 60 minus 67.5. While on 75 minus 67.5, it is 7.25. Then last, for our 54 minus 67.5, it is negative 13.7. So let's bilang it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A total of 12. After that, after we get our third column, we need to proceed to our fourth column. Para magawa natin, kailangan lang natin to squared lahat. So, ang lahat ng mga negative dyan, magiging positive. Kaya walang magiging positive na value dito sa ating fourth column. So, para mabilis, direct na natin. So, negative 6.75 squared. Kasi, base nga dito, parang in-squared lang natin siya. So, lahat ng answer dito is squared natin. So, negative 6.75 squared is 45.5625. Sa pagkuha ng ating table, needed natin siya ng cycle. Pero kapag magaling ka sa mental math, and hindi mo na kailangan ng cycle, so, mas madali sa'yo. So, dito, kakailanganin natin. So, for our fourth column, ang value ng squared ng ating negative 6.75 is 45.5625. For our second given, it is 351.9 5625. For our negative 14.75 square it is 217.5625. For our 13.25, it is 175.5625. And for our negative 3.75, it is 14.0625. For our 4.25, it is negative, 18. 4.25 squared is 18.0625, while 30.25 squared is 915.0625 again. And 10.25 squared is 105.0625. For 0.25, it is 0.0625. For our negative 7.25, our 75 minus 67.75, it is negative 7.75. Sorry. It is negative 7.75. So, negative 7.75 squared natin. So, magiging 60.0625. For our 7.25, it is 52.5625. And last, for our negative 13.75 squared, it is 184.0625. So, for us to get our S2, based on what is needed to do, we just need to add all of this in the fourth column. Like our summation for this is, kailangan lang natin siya i-add para makuha yung summation ng itong x minus sample mean squared. So, sa pag-add natin, ang total nito, kapag i-add natin lahat, para mas mabilis, hindi ko na siya compute isa-isa. So, ang total nito is 2,144.25. So, that is the total of our fourth column. Pero sa pagkuha ng ating S2, so needed ko na ibura yung ating given para may space tayo. Sa ating pagkuha ng S2, ito ang ating formula. So, ang formula ng ating S2, standard 2, is summation of our fourth column, which is x minus sample mean squared over n minus 1. So, based sa ating na-compute kanina, ang summation ng ating fourth column is 2,144.25. Ayusin natin yung sulat. 2,144.25. Our n is 12 minus 1, so 11. So, divide natin. Ang magiging answer is approximately 144.9. So, that's our S2. So, to get our S naman, or our standard deviation, we need to use this formula. Pero wala na tayong masulatan, so need natin i-erase yung ating our sample mean. Ay, huwag na lang. So, dito na lang natin sulat. Pagkakasya natin. Dito na lang. Pulwara natin to. So, to get our standard deviation, ito ang ating formula. S is equals to square root of summation of x minus sample mean squared and over n minus 1. Parang same lang din siya ng S2 pero nagkaroon lang siya ng square root. So, our answer for this is 2,144.25 over 11. So, our final answer is approximately 13.96. So, that's how we get our sample mean, our standard deviation, and our S2. So, for summarization, or paano natin nakuha ulit yung bawat column ng ating table. First, our observation is based sa ating given, kung ilan yung given. And yung ating x value is kung ano yung value ng ating given. While yung x minus sample mean, which is our third column, para makuha natin to is yung x value natin is ima-minus natin siya sa ating sample mean na total ng ating x value over 12, which is yung number ng ating given, and the kinalabasan is 67.75. So, ganun lang yon. Like, 61 minus 67.75 is negative 6.75. Ganun lang yung bawat mga susunod na ating given. So, para naman sa last column natin, which is yung x minus sample mean squared, lahat ng answer natin sa third column, i-squared natin yan. Kapag may negative sign naman, lahat yon mawawala. Kasi kapag negative times negative, magiging positive na siya. So, lahat ng value dito is walang negative. So, negative 6.75, try nyo i-calculate, or kaya nyo i-mental math. Negative 6.75 squared is a total of 45.5625. So, after that, kailangan lang natin ito i-add lahat. Kung ilan yung given mo, i-add mo yung lahat. And, based on our adding, our summation is 2,144.25. So, yun yung total ng ating fourth column. So, para naman makuha yung ating S2, ang gagawin lang natin is yung ating summation, i-divide natin siya sa n-1, which is yung n natin is 12 minus 1 is 11. So, ang ating answer is approximately 144.93. Approximately, because niround off natin siya. So, yung, para naman makuha yung ating standard deviation, para rin siyang formula nito, pero in-squared natin. So, square root of 2,144.25 over 11, ang answer natin is approximately 13.96. So, that's how we get our step 1 on getting our topic in example number 2.
So, here in our step 2, we need to determine the degree of freedom. So, paano nga po ulit natin i-determine yung degree of freedom? Let's show the formula. So, since one group lang po yung nai-involve doon, sa example number 3 natin, is, ang gagamitin po nating formula to find the degree of freedom is n-1. So, n-1, so let's substitute. 12 minus 1 is equals to 11. So, 11 na po yung ating degree of freedom. So, here in our step 2, we need to determine the A in 1 minus A or 100. Or ang tinatawag po dito, ang tinatawag po natin na other term dito is yung ating confidence level. Which is, how do we determine the A in our confidence level? So, papakita po muna natin kung ito po yung ginagamit na symbol for confidence level. So, ilalagay po natin siya. 1 minus A, 100% is equals to ilan? Ang ating nakalagay na percentage. That is 95%. 95%. So, ang ating confidence level is equals to 95%. So, now let's transfer this into decimal. So, here, let's do it na equal na lang. So, gagawin po nating decimal. So, mawawala na po to. Ang nangyayari po dyan is, hindi po pala mawawala. Bring down lang natin. Then, i-decimal lang po natin ang ating mga percentages. So, 1 and 0.95. So, here, para mawala po yung 1 sa kabila, which is, ang gagawin po natin is, ano po ba yung sign nito? Positive po yan, di ba? So, gagawa po tayo ng negative. So, ang negative, ito times po natin siya sa negative 1 para mawala po siya both sides. And ang mangyayari po dyan, mawawala na po yung 1 dito, cancel. And then, magkakaroon po tayo ng 1 minus A is equals to 1. 1 minus 0.95 is equals to 0.05. Now, let's divide the A into over 2 since 2 tails. Dalawa po kasi 2 tails po yung hinahanap. No? So, let's substitute the formula. So, ano po yung A natin? Our A is equals to 0.05. Then, substitute 0.05 divided by 2 is equal to 0.025. Yan po yung ating A over 2. So, here in our step 4, we need to find the critical value of T A over 2. So, paano po natin malalaman yung value nito in our critical table? Malalaman po natin yung value nito, yung critical value po nito, pag gumamit tayo ng T-critical table, which is, papakita po natin dyan. So, para po makita natin yung pinaka-location at para malaman po natin yung value ng ating T A over 2 is we're going to look for our DF and our A over 2. Kaya po natin siya sinolve. Ito po, mahanap po natin yung value nito gamit itong degree of freedom and our A alpha over 2. So, here, ano po yung DF natin? DF is equals to, degree of freedom natin is equals to 11. And our A over 2 is equals to 0.025. So, ayan po ang ating degree of freedom. Ito po ang ating alpha over 2, yung A over 2. Ang ating pong alpha over 2 is 0.025. Now, hanapin nyo po dyan kung saan nakalagay yung itong dalawang to. So, para po makita natin yung DF, horizontal po, vertical po yung paghahanap sa DF, which is may nakalagay po dyan 1, 2, then over 30. Ganyan. Sample, pababa pa po, pababa. Then, dito naman po, makikita po natin dito ang ating A over 2, which is, ang value po niyan is 0.00 to 0.0005. So, mahanap po natin yan. Gagamitin po natin ito and ito. So, hanapin po natin. Ang value ang critical value ng ating T alpha over 2 is equals to 2.20099, or kapag niround po natin siya to the nearest 4 places is 2.2010 po. So, ayun po ang ating value ng T A over 2. 3, we need to find the margin of error. So, paano nga po ba natin nahanapin yung margin of error? So, kagaya ng pinaliwanag kanina, ang formula para hanapin ng margin of error is this one. So, nahanap po natin ang value nila. Tama po. So, ang t, nahanap po natin. Check. Nahanap po natin ang value nila. And yung standard deviation, nakuha po ba natin yung value nila? Nakuha po natin. And our n, syempre, nakuha po natin ang kanyang value. So, let's substitute the formula. So, ano po ang e, which is our margin of error, is equals to, ano pong value ng t alpha over 2 natin, which is 2.2010. Then, times, kaganyan po natin siya, enclose. So, our standard deviation, which is 13.96, and our square root of n. So, ang mangyayari po dyan, our e, kung pabibilisin po natin, ang e po natin is 8.8698. Or pwede po natin siyang paliitin ng 8.87. So, ayan po. This is the value of our e. So, here in our step 6, we need to find the confidence interval. So, ano po yung formula ng ating confidence interval? This one po. Or kaya pwede po nating pahabain ng ganito. X minus PA over 2. Then, the S square root of n is less than population mean, but it's the population mean is greater, the upper limit is greater than, is population mean greater than sample mean plus critical value PA over 2, T over 2, and S over 10 squared. Ganyan po yung formula kapag pinahaba. So, ganyan po yung mangyayari sa formula. Then, ang gagawin po natin dito, since yung e naman po siya and yung value ng e natin, pwede po natin ipang-substitute dyan. So, paano po? So, C confidence interval is equals to our sample mean. What is our sample mean? 67.75 minus 8.87 is less than the population mean. Which is, ito po sinasabi dito na ito po ang ating magiging lower limit. And ito naman po, yung pinapakita dito, which is the population mean is greater than the sample mean. 75. Then, plus our value of margin of error, which is 8.87. So, ang hahanapin po natin dyan, 67.75 and plus 67.75 minus 8.87, isi-simplify po natin. So, sasagutan na po natin yan. 67.75 minus 8.87 is equals to 58.8. Tama po ba? 67.75. Titignan po natin sa ating calculator. 67.75 minus 8.87 is equals to 58.88. Ayan. 58.88. And let's rewrite lang po. So, 67 plus naman po. So, 76.62. And dyan na po papasok ang ating step 7, which is to identify the lower confidence limit and upper confidence limit. So lagi po mauuna yung lower confidence limit and upper confidence limit. pasensya na po sa sulat. Then our lower confidence limit, which is ito, then i-write lang po natin siya dito, 58.88. Then diyan po na-determine na po natin yung ating lower confidence limit and our upper confidence limit. Our upper confidence limit po, which is ito, is 76.62. Ayan po.
A group of 13 teachers was taught using a new technologies. A second group of 11 teachers was taught in using the books. At the end of the day, the same method when it comes to studying was given to each group. The 13 teachers who were taught using a technology made an average of 89 and a standard deviation of 7. The 11 teachers who were taught using a book made an average of 80% with a standard deviation of 6. Our N is sample size, which is the teacher who was used the new technologies. And in that given, it says a group of 13 teachers was taught using a new technologies. So the sample size is 13. And our population mean is the 13 teachers who were taught using technologies made an average of 89%. So 89% ang ating population mean or sample mean. Now, it says dito, standard deviation is 7. Same procedure lang gagawin sa population 2. Our population 2 is a second group is 11 teacher who was using book. It's our old tradition. Now, 11 teachers. So our population size is 11. And it says the sample mean is the 11 teachers who were taught using a books made an average of 80%. So 80% ang ating sample size, sample mean. And our standard deviation is 6. And isa. Now, let's proceed to our step number 2. Now, let's proceed to step number 2. Our step number 2 is find the degree of freedom, or DF. Our formula in DF is N1, which is sample size into the given plus N2, the sample size 2 from the population 2 minus 2. So let's distribute na. 13 in our population 1 ay sample size 1 and sample size 2 is 11 minus 2. 13 plus 3 is 24 minus 2 is 22. So that's our degree of freedom. Now let's proceed to our step number 3. Now let's proceed to our step number 3. Our step number 3 is find the alpha. So the equation of this is 1 minus alpha 100% is equal to our confidence level is 90%. So, 90%. Pag minus natin ito, magiging 10%. So, 1 minus alpha equals to 10%. So, 10%. Ginawa natin, ang 10% ay gagawin natin siyang decimal form. So, magiging decimal niya is 0.1. Then, ma-minus natin siya. So, i-move natin itong 1. Itong 1. So, magiging alpha 1 minus 0.1. Magiging ganyan po siya. Huwag nga kasi kayo maingay! Piste! One minus 0.1 is 0.9. 0.9. So, 0.9 alpha. We multiply by 2. .9 divided by 2 is 0.5 or 0.05. That's all po. Kukunin natin yung critical value niya sa 0.05. Ang lalabas po dun sa pag tinignan doon sa T-table is 0.05 is our formula in T-table ay yung getting critical value is alpha 2. So, 0.05 or 2.0. Thank you. Our step number 4 is find the food standard deviation or SP squared. Our formula in SP squared, sample minus 1 times standard deviation 1 squared plus sample size 2 minus 1 times standard deviation 2 squared. Divide by N1 or sample size 1 plus sample size 2 or N2 minus 2. Now, let's distribute that. Our sample size 1 is $13. Our sample size 1 ay masulat dito. our sample size 1 is 13 minus 1, and our standard deviation 1 is 7 squared, plus our sample size 2 is 11 minus 1, and our sample size, our standard deviation 2 is 6 squared. Our sample size 1 is 13 plus 11 minus 2. Now let's solve this na. 13 minus 1 is 12. 7 squared is 49. Plus 11 minus 1 is 10. And 6 squared is 6. Divide by, oh sorry, I forgot to. Then divide by 13 plus 11, 24 minus 2. So 12 times 49 is 588 plus 10 times 36 is 360. Copy the denominator. And 588 minus 300 plus 360 is 588 plus 360 is 8. 8 plus 6, 14. 5 plus 1, 6 plus 3, 9. So 948. So 948. Copy the denominator. Squared na. 948 divided by 22 is 6.56. 6.56 46618 or 6.56. That's it. So, yan na po siya. Pinadali na lang po natin yung process na yun. Pinadali na lang natin yung process into cycle na ginamit. But the process, the step is must be considered. So, ang unahin natin, 948. Right. 948 ay 6.56. 948 948 divide by 22 is 43. 43.09. Is 43.09. 43.09. So SP squared. So may squared pang full standard, kailangan natin siya i-cancel. So, kailangan natin siya mag-radical equation. So, cancel, and 43 square root of 43.09 is 6.56. So, same answer pa rin yung nakuha kahit di natin sinundan yung kanina. Now, let's proceed to our step number 5. In our step number 5, we find margin of error. Find margin of error. Or our formula in margin of error is critical value times gold standard squared 1 divided by n minus n1 or sample size 1 plus 1 divided by sample size 2. Now, let's distribute. Our critical value is 2.074 and our full stamina is 5.6 or 6.56 rather 6.56 squared. Distribute natin yung 13 plus 1. Distribute natin yung sample size 2 is 11. So, .074 times 6.56 is equal to 13.60544 squared 1 divided by 13 plus 1 11. So our with this 13.60544 times squared ng 1.13 plus 1 is 0.16 32.167. Pag pinag-times yan, makuha is 2.2834308 or 2.28, and that's our margin of error. Now let's proceed to 6 and our last step. Now let's proceed to our step number 6. Ang kukunin sa step number 6 is lower confidence limit and higher confidence limit. Our equation para makuha yung confidence limit is sample size mean 1 minus sample mean 2 times by siya or greater than, less than, error, or margin of errors, and let's go mean 1 minus mean 2 greater than sample mean 1 minus minus sample mean 2 plus margin of error. And that's the formula na gagamitin natin. Now, let's solve na. Our sample size, our sample mean 1 is 89 minus our sample mean 2 is 80. Lower minus 2.28 our margin of error. And our mean 2 is, copy this, copy lang this, and our sample 9 and our sample mean 2 is 80. So our margin of error is 2.28. And so 89 minus 80 is 9 minus 28 greater than M1 minus M2 greater than 9 plus 2.28 our margin of error. Now let's solve this. Nine minus 2.28 is 6.70. And 9 ito plus 2.28 is 11.28. So our upper limit is ito, our lower limit is ito. So our lower confidence limit is 6.72 and our higher or upper rather is 11.28. And that's the final answer. Thank you po.